This is going to be an incredibly productive video lesson because we're going to take a look at words you already know, like cut and killer and eat and chair. And I'm going to teach you alternative meanings to these words. So this makes it a lot easier for learners to remember, retain the meanings of these words and be able to bring these words to your active vocabulary. So unlike learning new vocabulary, completely new vocabulary, you're taking a word you already know, you're going to learn an alternative meaning, and I'm going to give you lots of examples. And then at the end of this video lesson, there's going to be a quiz to lock in learning. So by the end of this lesson, you really will be able to use these words, no problem, today in your next meeting. Now, when I talk about alternative meanings to existing words or words you already know, these are not obscure meanings. These are commonly used everyday meanings for these words that are used across the globe in business English, in general English. Advanced English speakers need to know these meanings. Let's jump right in and get started. First one is funny. Well, of course, everyone knows funny. Haha, funny. Bob gives great presentations. He always has lots of funny jokes. Yes, we know funny. But funny can also mean unusual, strange, weird, odd. And this is really commonly used. I have a story for you. Years ago, I was teaching a student. Now, this was an advanced level student. She already had her IELTS. She was Cambridge C1. She was advanced. She was a great speaker, a very advanced student in English. And we were talking about, she was immigrating to Canada. And we were talking about what's happening with her immigration process. And she said, oh, Melissa, I'm really upset. I'm really stressed. It seems like they lost my application or they can't find it in the office. And I said, my response to her was, oh, that's funny. And at that point, her face went to stone and she got quite frustrated with me and said, that is not funny, Melissa. This is serious. And at that moment, I realized, oh my goodness, I mean, at her advanced level, and she was kind of a newer student, I assumed she knew that meaning of funny because it was so natural for me to say that. And of course she didn't. And of course I apologized and I taught her the meaning of funny. But this just goes to show that even advanced level students, often you don't know all these alternative meanings to these common words. So funny can mean strange, unusual, odd. And that's how I meant it. I'm like, oh, that's funny. That's strange. That's odd that you haven't heard back from the office or the office is lost an application. That's very unusual. It's very strange. So that's how I meant it. So this is really important you understand this. So if you're in a meeting and you can say, you know what, something's really funny about that, supplier. I don't really trust him, meaning something unusual about him. Or I sent you the email. Did you get it? No, I didn't receive the email. Oh, that's funny. Let me check. Meaning that's strange. Let me check what happened. Or, my computer's acting funny today. It keeps updating itself or keeps rebooting. So it's acting strange. It's acting unusual. There's something funny in this contract. I'm not too sure why they repeated the dates 4 times in one page. Something strange, something unusual. So if someone is acting funny, if a situation is funny, I mean, you have to understand that if the intonation goes down, that's funny. That means strange or unusual. If I go, that's funny, that means I'm laughing. That means it's funny, as in humorous. So you really need to tune in your ears. I mean, of course, context is important here. Like the situation with my student losing an application for a visa. That's not funny. That's never funny, right? So context goes a long way here. But if your intonation goes up, that means funny, haha, humorous. If your intonation goes down, that means strange or unusual. Now, if it's an email and you don't have intonation to go on, you just have to take it from context. So you can say his presentation was funny. His presentation was funny. Well, and I gave no intonation there, by the way. But so in an email, what do you mean? And so you can't just say his presentation was funny because no one will understand if you meant strange or funny, haha. I would not say funny is used more in a laughing way than as in strange or unusual. It's just used more for lower level English speakers. So truly in an email, you have to expand on how it was funny. If it's in person or if it's on a video call and I said, oh, his presentation was funny, I'm going up and I mean, haha, funny. Or his presentation was funny. So I'm going down, meaning it was weird. I didn't care for it. So there you go. That's different meanings of funny. Okay, next one's a little bit easier than funny. This is chair. Of course, I'm sitting in a chair. You're probably sitting in a chair. You know chair. But chair can also be a verb and also can be a noun attached to that verb. So to chair as a verb means to lead a meeting. That's it. And the person leading the meeting can be the chair. So verb to chair or the chair, as in the person leading the meeting. So who's chairing the meeting next week? Or who is the chair of the meeting next week? Have you ever chaired a meeting? Do you enjoy chairing meetings? Oh, yeah, I was the chair at the annual general meeting last year. I did not enjoy chairing that meeting, or I do enjoy being the chair. Okay, this next word is a doozy. Now, a doozy is something that's substantial or extraordinary. And this is what table is as a verb. So, table, of course, you know table. You're not watching my video to learn what table means. You're watching my video to learn what the verb to table means. Now, the verb to table, the reason I say it's a doozy, as in this is a really big word to learn and to teach, is because it has two different meanings, but the meanings are completely opposite, whether you're talking British English or American English. Okay, so let's get started on this one. So, to table a topic, to table something, means you're going to postpone discussing it in American English. To table something, to table a topic, means you're going to introduce it for discussion and start talking about it in British English. This is crazy. So, completely opposite meanings. So, for example, you're in a meeting and someone says, I want to discuss forecasts for next quarter. And the chair of the meeting can say, listen, that's not on the agenda. Let's table that for next meeting. So let's postpone that for the next meeting. So let's table that. Let's postpone that for the next meeting. An exact same meeting, you can have someone say, listen, I would like to table forecasts for next quarter, which means I want to introduce talking about it right now. And the chair of the meeting goes, yeah, let's table that now. Let's table that, meaning we'll discuss it right now. So, what do you do as a learner of English working in global teams? How do you know when you can use table as in to introduce a topic or when you use table as in to postpone discussing something? So, you really have to tune in your ear to the people on your team and the people you're speaking with. Now, obviously, if you're talking with someone or interviewing someone, or you're in a group meeting and everyone's in Philadelphia, well, table is going to be to postpone talking about something. Let's table that for next meeting. Great topic, great question. Let's table that for next meeting. Obviously, if you're having a group meeting or you're online and talking with in a call with people in Manchester and they say, I'd like to table something. Let's table this. This means we're going to talk about it right now. Fine. But that's not the world we live in. We live in global teams. We work in global teams. We work across borders. So, really, I suggest you tune your ear in to the people you're speaking with, what type of English they're using. If they're using a word like fortnight, well, fortnight means 2 weeks, and it's uniquely British English. It's not even used. It means nothing in American English. So if they're using words like fortnight, then they're going to use to table as in to talk about something at the moment. Now, from my experience, and I have lived and worked across multiple continents in all the English speaking world, pretty much in Australia, Canada, America, and the United Kingdom, I really have a good idea of what English is used in across the globe and across the world. And it tends to be the American English is used a lot more in business globally. I mean, not everywhere, but I would say 60-40. So 60% would be American English is used as the business English standard. This tends to be what's used worldwide. So if you don't know what people are saying or what type of English they're using, then always err on the side of American. Use the American English. It's probably your safe bet there. Okay, this one's a lot easier than table. This is issue. Now, there's three meanings for issue. You probably know the first one. So, if you're working in English and using English at your job or in work, you probably know that we use issue instead of the word problem. In business English, you will always want to avoid using negative words, and problem is a big negative word. So, you wouldn't say, we have a problem with the server, we have an issue with the server. or we have a problem with payment. We have an issue with payment. It's so much nicer. I mean, in English is like that. We're a lot more polite than a lot of languages. We avoid speaking directly, and we speak in a way to soften what we're saying. So you don't want to say problem in business English unless it's a massive problem. You want to say issue. So that's the one meaning of issue. It means problem. The other meaning of issue does not mean a problem. It's not negative. It's just completely neutral, and it means a subject or a topic of something. So the main issue discussed in today was workplace flexibility, which means the main topic of our discussion. Or what's the issue we're working on this week? What's the subject of what we're working on this week? Or the meeting went over a lot of important issues, a lot of important subjects. So issue just means subject or topic, and it's completely neutral. And the next meaning of issue, which is a verb, means to officially distribute. So HR issued me with a warning because I was late 3 days last week. So they officially gave me a warning. Or the company issued a statement on the merger. The company officially distributed a statement on the merger. Or finance will issue reimbursements for company expenses. So they will issue the reimbursements for company expenses. So there you go, 3 different meanings for issue. Okay, on to note. Now everyone knows note, right? You're going to take a note. This is a note. I'll send you a quick note. Everyone knows note. But note can also be a verb, and it means to observe or to mention. So please note that the deadline has been extended. Or I'd like to note that the data in this report is from last year. So I'd like to mention something. Or can we please note that there's been a delay through payment from client B? So it just means to observe or to mention something. This is really important because we can use this in a nice way, especially in presentations or meetings when we want people to pay attention to something or we need to highlight something. Okay, as promised, it's quiz time. So I really find including these little quizzes, this is something new that I'm doing, but I really find it helps lock in learning for a lot of the viewers who are watching my videos. So I'm going to read some sentences, take out the main word. You have to decide what word would fit in that sentence. There you go. And if you don't know, if you have difficulty, just go back in the video and just rewatch what you missed and then come back and do it again. Okay, so here's number 1. Please that the deadline has been moved to next Friday. Please that the deadline has been moved to next Friday. Please observe that the deadline, what's the synonym for observe? Please note that the deadline has been moved to next Friday. Please note. Okay, next one. The manager will the meeting and introduce the speakers. The manager will the meeting and introduce the speakers. The manager will lead the meeting. What's another word for lead? The manager will chair the meeting and introduce the speakers. Okay, next one. Let's this discussion until the next board meeting. Let's this discussion until the next board meeting. So let's delay, postpone. Let's table this discussion until the next board meeting. Okay, next one. There's a serious with the server. No one can log in. There's a serious with the server. No one can log in. There's a serious problem. It's a synonym for problem. Issue with the server. No one can log in. There's a serious issue with the server. No one can log in. Next one. The way he explained the numbers sounded a bit to me. The way he explained the numbers sounded a bit to me. Sounded a bit strange. Sounded a bit unusual. Sounded a bit odd to me. What's a synonym for odd, strange, and unusual? Funny. The way he explained the numbers sounded a bit funny to me. Okay, the main we need to solve is low employee engagement. The main we need to solve is low employee engagement. The main topic, subject, the main issue we need to solve is employee engagement. Okay, how did you do? Did you get them all right? Did you get most of them right? If you got some wrong or weren't sure, no big deal. I mean, you are learning new meanings for existing words. Still does take time. It takes some time. Just go back to the video, rewatch that one part, and then come back and redo the quiz until you get it 100%. No problem at all. Thank you so much for joining me for this lesson. If you did enjoy the lesson, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel and like the video, and let me know in the comments how you would use these words if you've ever had funny situations, strange situations like I have, where you've misunderstood the meaning of a word, because there's lots of different word meanings in English. Thank you so much for joining me.